Remember, as I have told you before, you have studied in 200-hour course and 300-hour course in a particular way, in a particular system, with a particular focus, with a particular specialization. I do not prefer to call it a style. So, and I don't want to see it as a style too. So, it's not a style. If somebody asks you what is the style, so we say traditional Hatha Yoga. And we say it with confidence, we say it with certainty, we say it with a little pride too. Why? Because the reaction will be, oh, Hatha Yoga. The perception of Hatha Yoga is that Hatha Yoga is for old people, beginners. We do not fight this perception. Don't spend your energy fighting wrong perception. Instead, use your energy to develop your own clarity. Don't be defensive. You will be defensive when you feel you're weak. You will be defensive when you feel you're not right. You don't need to defend yourself for what you are. Please remember this, not just in what you're teaching, but also in life. If you have clarity, you will not need to defend yourself. But a little non-clarity, you will spend so much energy defending yourself, proving to others, I was right, I was right, I was right. Rather than proving to others you are right, try to generate your own clarity that I am right. Okay, so please remember this, because sometime you might face a situation that others will say, oh, but that's not really a style, and like how everybody is a scholar. Even if they do yoga for 6 months, they will try to add their 2 cents to your confusion. Having said that, I also want to say, whatever you have studied has been for your own transformation and as an inspiration for you to teach. Doesn't mean you are bound by a certain system or by certain rules or regulations. Neither am I asking you to give 20% of your income or 30% of your collection, or neither am I asking you to put my logo on your website and this, nothing. Okay, I want nothing from you except your own transformation. That is something that I really want from you. And if you want to give me a Guru Dakshina, means a gift to the teacher after completion of the course, that is the only Guru Dakshina that I would like from you, is your own empowerment, your own evolution. Tomorrow you become a big famous teacher, you are on the cover of Vanity Fair, you don't take my name, doesn't matter to me at all. But what would matter to me, if you will be on Vanity Fair cover, but you will not have transformed yourself, that would matter to me. Right? So your transformation is my main concern. Your business is not my main concern at all. Though I will poke my nose, like I said yesterday, I take liberty to poke my nose into your affairs. When you don't want it, just tell me, and I will pull out. But till then I will poke my nose. Okay? So you are not bound by any contract, you are not bound by any obligation. You do not have to feel obligated towards me for anything. Yeah, I will not feel bad if you don't give me credit in your website, this, that, nothing. There's no personal game in this. But please do not sacrifice your own transformation for your work. What I am giving you is just 3 essentials: sadhana, seva and sangha. That's it. Sadhana comes the first. Seva is a natural output of it. And sangha is something that is spontaneously created, naturally, effortlessly generates around you. So this is something that I want to say. Please don't feel obligated about anything from my side, because I don't want, obligation means guilt, and I don't want to have some guilt. Out of gratefulness, great, fine, no problem. As a part of devotion, as a part of love, fantastic, yeah. I'm not even ashamed if you mention me somewhere, that's also okay. But if you don't mention me, that's also okay. Now you are by yourself. 300 hours, we have learned how to stand, how to hold the wall. Now we have to slowly, slowly hold the wall and walk. When you fall, not just me, but the whole universe as a mother will hold you. Now you just need to trust that. Okay? Number one. Number two, when you step forward into the world, into the business, into the work, into the service, I have said this again and again, what will come up first?
Self-love.
Self. Nice. Self-love. So you know who's the primary blocker. How will you get rid of that?
Action.
Action. Just action? Yes. Action with trust. Without action, you will never get rid of self-doubt. In fact, if you don't act, you will just sit on your self-doubt and nurture it. It's better to get out in the world and make mistakes rather than not get out and just talk as if you are some big saint. I would appreciate and respect you even more than what you are now. If you tell me, Prasad, I started a yoga studio, but it didn't work. So now I just teach privates and regular classes. I will really respect you more. Rather than you saying, I'm working on my studio idea after 3 years, and after 3 years I ask you, after 5 years, after 6 years. I'm not asking you to do imagination. Put something in the front. So, action with trust will manage the self-doubt. Number 2, watch your self-talk. Watch that self-talk. You know what is self-talk? The rambling that goes in your head is self-talk. Watch, but watch in what sense? Watch in the sense of an observer, not in the sense of, yes, self-talk is taking you down, you also join it, not like that. Watch the self-talk from the point of a neutral observer. Once you find this neutral observer, strengthen it, empower it. It's all there. Neutral observer is there. Have you met your own neutral observer within? And the neutral observer, you will increase your interaction with the neutral observer if you encourage it to talk. Now, one of the commonest questions is, but how do I know it is not my ego and my observer? You will know. Because ego gives you options. Observer will give you certainty. Purposely, ego will give you 5 options. Why? Because the base of ego is in duality. It can only give you 2 or more than 2. It cannot give you 1. You understand? Ego creates separation, and separation creates option. But observer doesn't create separation. As observer will give you clarity in option. So if it feels right, sure, observer. Number 3, don't judge neither yourself nor others. More so, don't judge yourself. No self-judgment. And when I say self-judgment, I mean self-criticism. No self-judgment, no self-criticism. And it comes out softly, like it just comes out. You will not even, if you are not aware, if you are not mindful, you will not even know how it came out. No self-judgment, no self-criticism. Now, just because we have decided to not get involved in self-criticism does not mean you will not self-reflect. You have to keep in mind that self-criticism is not the only form of self-reflection. In fact, self-reflection can be from a completely neutral, honest point of view. Many people think self-criticism means self-reflection. No. When self-reflection combines with judgment, it becomes self-criticism. If you don't bring your own judgment about yourself and others into perspective, it can be an honest assessment. Why not? Honest assessment. We all have to do. In fact, every 4 months, every 6 months, we have to honestly assess our lives. When I went into silence, before that, my life, I had some other fundamentals. After just 2 months after I came out of silence, immediately those priorities, fundamentals changed. Immediately. This requires swiftness. You have to move swiftly. 2 months ago, 1, 2, 3, my priority was A, B, C. After 2 months of silence, looks like I should change my way. Wow. What is the priority now? B, C, E. Okay, doesn't matter. Bye bye A, B, C. I will just retain B and C and substitute A for E. This means if you need to move forward in life, you should learn to let go. Let me be very honest, all of you are changing very fast. All of you are now in the spin. Personal evolution wise, see, individual spins at X frequency and the world is spinning at Y frequency. When individual starts spinning at Y frequency, when individual looks out into the world will also look like it is spinning with Y frequency. We all create our own world in front of us. That's why it's called a holographic world. What you see is what you think exists. If you have a fear, if you have some kind of fear, and if I tell you to sit under a tree, the only thing you will think of is a branch will fall on my head. Some other person who doesn't have that fear will sit under the tree and enjoy the shade. Both have created their own realities in front of them based on what is inside them. And that's why when you start spinning in a different way, when your inner frequency changes, what you attract or what you see or what you perceive, what you experience, everything will change. For this you will need to let go of the past and embrace the future. Let go of the old and embrace the new. How will you fill something in a box which is already full? It's like what is happening in some of us, our case now, that we are leaving. Our bags are already full and we have done some shopping, and the bags, now we have to see how to cram those things in the bag. How will you fill something within if you are not ready to empty something that is within? So learn to let go. Let go of all the things that you have experienced or which you feel are tying you down. Let go of them. Say, gone, go. And create space for the new. Now, when will you really be aware of letting go? When will letting go become a little easy?
The self-trust is there, and self-confidence.
See the circle? You'll be able to let go when you have self-trust. Yes. But the self-trust will come only when you believe, at least, that you have everything that you are seeking already. You already have everything that you are seeking. Your direction is not right. All that you are seeking, we are seeking externally, but it is not external. It's not outwardly. We believe since last 2 years that we are love, freedom and bliss. And we still believe. We may experience once in a while the pulse of it. But you are looking for love outside, but it's there inside. You're looking for freedom outside, but it is already there inside. You're looking for bliss outside, it's already there inside. So why we don't get it? But outside is such over changing world, such full of options. Inside is one. Whatever I am seeking is already within me. So if whatever I am seeking is already within me, what is the need for me to hoard everything? What is the need for me to collect everything, to retain everything? Let go. You have collected everything because of a fundamental error. It's like you have collected, you have saved 1,000 euros. And 1,000, okay, let's make it 10,000. You have saved 10,000 euros in the bank. And many people have this habit, every night they come home and they'll check their bank balance. 10,000 still there. 10,000. 20 cents. What did the bank charge me? Oh, commission. Checkbook. Every day they will check. Is it there? Is it there? Like just a figure in the bank. Then somebody says, excuse me, you get a letter that your grandfather, who passed away 1 year ago, left 10 million euros for you. And you will receive the check in 1 week. Once you get that 10 million euros check, do you really care for those 10,000 euros in your bank? So please realize this, you are this love, freedom and bliss, the 10 million you have. So 10,000 euros that you saved since your childhood, just have fun with that. You are sitting on a pot of gold that is love, freedom and bliss. It is just under you, or rather within you. Stop external searches. And if you want to get into the external searches, get into them as an exercise. I am getting into this search, but as an exercise. And if you really want to do it, do two things. Number one, do not call your past mistakes. call your past your learnings. And do not call your future fears. Call your future challenges. Change the language of self-talk. If you call your past mistakes, you will end up regretting. If you call your future fear, you will end up becoming insecure. And that's really not a way to live a life. But oscillating between fear and regret, that's how we want to live our life. Past are mistakes only for somebody who has not learned from them. When you learn from them, they are not mistakes anymore. They are really experiences of learning. You can really gather pearls of wisdom. So basically, change the language of self-talk. Don't call your past mistakes, call them learnings. Don't call your future fear, call it challenge. Next, consciously start sorting out your karmas with your family. Especially your parents and your sisters and your brothers. Sisters, brothers. Sort out the whole family. Sisters, brothers, sisters. Sort out. Now consciously work on it. And how would you know you have worked it out? When that other sibling or your parent comes in front of you, you feel nothing except sheer joy. Nothing except sheer joy. It's the best way to know. No physiological, no psychological reaction, all clear. Physiology will not react, psychology will not jump.
And even though they will still have their physiological issues with you, that's just of no.
That's there.
Exactly.
If you want, write this down. I am my own problem, she is her own problem.
I think we have that.
Yeah.
My problem.
My problem is me, her problem is she. And if Datta is active in your life, it will really happen. That's his job. Next, take care of your body. Very important. Take care of your body. Take care of your immunity. And start respecting your body. No matter what, how it is. I'm not speaking of love here. You realize love will come. It sounds very hollow to say start loving your body. It's impossible. If you don't like your body and you stand in the mirror, love is the last thing you think of. So start respecting your body. And how will you start respecting your body? Trying to understand your body. Start looking at your body as your main address. Where do you live? I live in Dryden, Canada. No? I live in this body. I'm just staying there. I am staying there. It's my residence for this lifetime. You take care of your residence, no? How you want housekeeping every day to come and clean your floor? How you want the bed sheets to be properly cleaned? How you don't like one smudge on your floor? You stay here, no? So how do you tolerate smudges inside you, on the body? So what it is given to you? You'll say, the immediate argument is, but we didn't choose it, it's given to us. So what? So what if at least you got one? There are ghosts who are flying around, they don't even have one. If you meet a ghost next time, you tell them, you know what, you don't try to scare me. You are in worse situation than me. I am scared for you. You are trying to scare me? You don't even have the body to work out your karmas. I at least bloody have body. So the ghost will also get tense and stop worrying you. You go away. Just a joke, huh? No ghost. No. Next, start living life with zest. Zest. You know what is zest? Motivation, spirit. I'll do it. Let's go. Rajas. Sattva is too bland. Now, Hatha yogis are not. Hatha yogis are Rajasic people. Go here, go there, do this, active. Sattvic Rajas it's called. Sattvic Rajas means Rajas but with a Sattvic objective, goal. Movement with purpose, not just movement, not aimless wandering. Movement but with purpose. If the movement is purposeful, great, no? Where are you going? I know where I am going. Great. Where are you going? I don't know. Next, stop treating yourself like a rubbish. Treat yourself nicely. Treat yourself the way you want to treat others. How nicely socially we are so polite. If the child says, Kali, give me this. Please, say please to her, little one. You teach politeness, no? You teach politeness to the child. So be the same. The child should back answer sometimes, I think. The child should back answer. Mom, do you say please to yourself ever? Are you polite with yourself ever? Be polite. Treat yourself nicely. Treat yourself nicely, please. No more damning yourself. Next, face your fears one by one. Easiest comes first. Face your fears. Whichever one is the easiest, start with that. No more fear. No more fear. We work only on two principles, fear and love.
Isn't fear often just ignorance or misunderstanding or misinformation?
Absolutely. Everything that fear represents is non-truth. That's why it will have its origin in ignorance. I am afraid of dogs. Dog comes in front of me. It's not the dog's fault. It's my. I am afraid of the dog. Dog is not some ferocious being. The dog is wagging his tail. He wants to be cuddled. But you think of him as some Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ultimately, everything comes back to you. Next point, jump in and start teaching, working, inspiring. Jump into the opportunity. The world is your stage.